Time now for our financial focus, and analyst Steve Budin is here. Sir, how are you? Good to see you. We're talking about U.S. and China trade talks. These guys are going to sit down and try and hash it out, right?
Eventually, this will get worked out.
Yeah.
But what you've seen in the markets recently, the bond market, the stock market, there's been a lot of ups and downs based on the daily discussions. And I think eventually, like in a marriage, you have two big partners here. Eventually, they know they need each other, and they'll work things out.
Yeah, because mutually, they cannot really go head-to-head because it's not going to be beneficial for anyone.
Right.
So that tends to think that they're going to find a solution.
Right.
Yeah.
So just be prepared for some ups and downs, but at the end of the day, these things seem to work out.
Okay, moving on, talking about this big to-do here with Facebook. And now we're learning that Android users were really hit hard with with all their information being scrubbed.
Right, and most Android systems are used by the Samsung Galaxy types of phones.
Yeah.
What we've learned this morning is Facebook has been scrubbing that data. So if you're using the app on your phone, they've been downloading your contacts, how long you've been on the phone with people, who you've been calling. Just another public relations black eye for Facebook.
And this has been a mess too with the stock market because their stock has taken a hit.
Yeah, and I've always said the court of public opinion and the markets usually punish companies before Congress can, or the legal system can. And you've seen almost $100 billion of market capitalization or market value Facebook in 1 week get dropped. And that'll open the eyes of the board of directors.
Yes, yes it will. Yeah. All right, moving on now with Nevada and marijuana sales here continue to have some pretty impressive numbers.
Yeah, the first 6 months of retail sales have been great for the state. In fact, in terms of production and tax revenue, we've done more than twice what Colorado has done when they started. Right. So we're off to a great start.
And we knew that this was possible, right, because of just the tourism industry, too. Right. We don't know exactly what plays into those numbers, but that was sort of one of the selling points about legalizing recreational marijuana here is that people would travel from other parts of the country, in part at least, to buy recreational marijuana legally. Yeah,
and I think the legislature did it right here because they set up two different funnels of revenue, both on the growing and on the selling, and the revenue from the taxes go into two different places. It goes into our state rainy day fund, which is there in case of emergencies or big economic recessions like we had 10 years ago, and the other part of the revenue goes into the schools. So as the money gets raised, it just prevents the state from having to find it in other places.
Yeah, and everything seems rosy, and we've seen this in Colorado too, because the economic numbers, they're the easiest to get a hold of and understand, but we still don't have enough data right now when it comes to car accidents and the impacts on roads with DUI. That could be the drawback here, but we still don't know. We don't have that information at this point.
We don't have that information, and also you don't know what the direct causation is, right? Just because there's more car accidents doesn't mean it's because of the marijuana law. So that'll be tough for them to determine. But for the first 6 months, this has been pretty impactful for the state.
All right, Steve Budin, as always, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. All right, we'll be right back.